They're talking about 30,000 of them, just for starters, and they've got no capability to avoid collisions. In numerous tests, the drones still crashed into other objects. Despite such warnings, FAA Acting Administrator Michael Herter noted last week during the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International Conference in Las Vegas that over the next 3 years, drones will begin rolling out. He added that building, this is a quote, building human consensus is an equally important task and unbelievably complicated. So in other words, you know, keeping the PR on message that it's all safe and secure is more important than the fact that, according to the FAA's own test, these things are going to kill people. They're going to crash into airliners. So, you know, even though these drones in the test run by the FAA have proven to be completely unsafe, crashing into objects, they've green-lighted them anyway. I mean, this is a huge public safety issue. And they've come out in the aftermath of this expose and said, don't worry, we're going to spend another $2 billion to fix this, even though they've already green-lighted it, knowing that it's a massive safety risk. But don't worry, another $2 billion that America can't afford is going to go into perfecting these drones so they can be used to, you know, spy on cattle ranchers in Nebraska and Iowa and wherever else. So massive public safety issue, cover-up. The FAA green-lighted it anyway, even though they knew the drones were crashing into other objects. They gave the go-ahead. Black box standards coming for cars. This is out of the Hill. New federal standards for black boxes that record information leading up to auto accidents will take effect September 1st, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration ruled on Tuesday. The decision means the new standards for the devices will not be delayed by 1 year as automakers had requested. The federal standards will apply only to cars that are voluntarily outfitted with event data recorders, also known as black boxes. But while the government does not yet require all cars to have black boxes installed, NHTSA is still thought to be considering a federal mandate as a next step, possibly this year. Now, back in July, Obama already signed the MAP 21 bill into law, which initially mandated black boxes in all vehicles from 2015 onwards, and I believe that was later, in the final version of the bill, restricted to just commercial vehicles. But now it's going to be voluntary, don't worry, to begin with, and then they'll review it a year down the line. So like most things, it's going to be voluntary, eventually it's going to be mandatory. And this, of course, is about taking the first step to the tax by the mile system, a de facto carbon tax. And most new cars already have these black boxes installed when they come fresh out the factory. So they're already in there, they've just got to switch them on. But the ultimate goal, of course, is not only to tax you by the mile in the name of saving Mother Earth while all the money goes to, you know, the Rothschild family and Al Gore because they own the carbon trading systems. It's also about this process of having to obtain government permission merely to start your vehicle. It's about strangling the right to mobility because they've already developed the technology, the face scanning camera, that will decide whether or not you're allowed to drive. And when that's hooked into the police database or, you know, the domestic extremist database, then if the government says no, you can forget about driving. This is all about permission to exercise your God-given rights, which should require no permission whatsoever. So that's the Plandopolis scenario, you know, where only the ultra-rich will be allowed to drive cars. Everybody else has to, you know, book them in advance, and maybe a taxi will come and pick you up, but you'll have no rights to even drive your own car. That's what they're aiming for. And this is the start of it, tax by the mile system, which they're already now trying to mandate. And while on the topic of face scanning technology, Face Deals scans your face to customize deals by Adon Salazar. This is INFOWARS.com. Check in with your face is the motto of a US marketing company, which is using to preface its new face scan deal linking technology. Red Pepper out of Nashville, Tennessee has developed technology that says it will save you money. However, the methods engaged are much more intrusive than your standard grocery store coupon. The process starts when a Face Deals camera mounted at a venue's front door scans and matches your face's likeness to your Facebook profile, generating customized deals for your area according to your likes. And it's all about making Big Brother sound trendy, as we've seen before. But encouragingly, when I actually went and watched the video, the promo video, with this really trendy guy selling it in a really trendy voice for all the hipsters out there, the response was unenthusiastic, to say the least. Here's some comments. "No thank you, makes me want to delete my Facebook. Stupid mainstream hipsters thinking this kind of privacy invasion is so cool. Starts with this and graduates to the chip. These trendy emo retro hipsters need to just move to California and build a wall around it." So it's all about pressure from above and pressure from below. You know, we've got Big Brother being forced on us by the state with these face scanning cameras for law enforcement. We've got the license plate scanners going in everywhere. That's pressure from above. Of course, the recently exposed trapwire system is going to be the central fulcrum of that face scanning database system. But then we've also got it being imposed from below by all these hipsters who, you know, push for their privacy to be completely eviscerated in the name of convenience and trendiness and sharing all their likes with Big Brother so Big Brother can sell them nice little deals and incentives. So it's pressure from above from the state, it's pressure from below, this artificially generated trendy culture. You, of course, remember the microchips embedded for entrance to the Baja beach clubs that came out back in, what was it, 2004. Again, all very trendy to be in the system, in the matrix, have your arm scanned by barcode so you can get into the trendy VIP area of the club. And all the hipsters are right behind it. So, you know, good luck with that. I'm not going to be a part of it, and a lot of people aren't, according to the response, which was devastating, to say the least, to this YouTube promo video, which got completely trashed. Moving on now, Paul Ryan sold shares on same day as private briefing of banking crisis. This is out of The Guardian. Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney's vice presidential running mate, sold stock in US banks on the same day he attended a confidential meeting where top-level officials disclosed the sector was heading for a deep crisis. The congressman on Monday denied profiting from information gleaned from the meeting on 18 September 2008, when Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke, then Treasury Secretary Hank Paulson, and others outlined their fears for the banking sector. His office said he had no control over the trades. Public records show that on the same day as the meeting, Ryan sold stock in troubled banks, including Wachovia and Citigroup, and bought shares in Goldman Sachs, Paulson's old employer, and a bank that had been disclosed to be stronger than many of its rivals. The sale was not illegal at the time. So, you know, what a surprise, yet another compromised politician. He's now going to be Mitt Romney's running mate. You know, another insider on the take, another water carrier for the banking elite, got his dirty hands involved in these little insider deals before they know the bank's going to go down, selling shares, buying shares in others. And as we exposed last night on the show, I mean, Paul Ryan is just another big government, you know, wolf in sheep's clothing. He's not a real conservative. But the talking heads have told us that, you know, the conservative movement is all happy and excited about him running as a VP. So what exactly are they excited about? Is it, you know, the fact he said yes to No Child Left Behind, the expansion of Medicare? He really loves all that kind of socialism. Is it the fact that he continually supports all the unconstitutional wars? Your guess is as good as mine. But now Paul Ryan got his hand in the till, and he's being exposed as another water carrier for the banking elite. So don't expect a lot of change with him if Mitt Romney gets in as president. Quote of the day now from Thomas Paine: "If there must be trouble, let it be in my day, that my child may have peace." So he's basically saying, you know, if there's trouble, if there's a cancer in society, let's deal with it now. Let's not lump it on the next generation. But unfortunately, as you know, a lot of people have not followed that advice and have instead, with their obsession with bread and circuses, as we talked about earlier in comparison to Rome, have chosen to pass these troubles on to the next generation. So, you know, I guess that's our job to make them face reality and realise that if you ignore a cancer, then it only gets worse. We're going to go to break now on INFOWARS Nightly News, but stick around because we got quite a feisty interview with Webster Tarpley talking to Alex Jones about the coming economic collapse. Stay tuned.
Alex Jones here with a message that could revolutionize health in this country. Going back about a year and a half ago, I began to learn from friends like Ted Anderson about the incredible health effects of longevity products. And I started promoting him some because I'd seen his weight loss, his health, all the things that had happened for him. Now, I've only stuck my toe in the water and lost a little over 40 pounds, and I'm still big. Aaron Dykes, who you know has been working here for 6 years at INFOWARS.com, lost 92 pounds. We're going to show you some before and afters. He began to hear the guest on my show a year and a half ago. He began to do his own research, and he implemented the information that Longevity and INFOWARSteam.com is promoting and had dramatic results. And that's why I'm telling our listeners and viewers, you need to go to INFOWARSteam.com and try just the essential fatty acids, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and the Pollen Burst Plus. And I believe you'll be blown away by the dramatic results that I've had and Aaron's had. Aaron, break down what happened, your story.
I've been overweight in my life for far too long. Years ago, I lost a lot of weight, more than 50 pounds, but it came right back. I wasn't able to keep it off. More recently, I've worked really hard with diet and exercise to try to lose weight, but I just didn't get the results. It just didn't happen, and I wasn't able to stay motivated long enough to reach my goals. Then I saw what you were doing with InfoWarsTeam.com and the great products, Tangy Tangerine, kind of the base one to start with. I wasn't even trying to lose weight, but I got it because I wanted to feel better energy. I wanted that nutrition, didn't even understand how that could kickstart my own weight loss goals, but the products did that for me. I found myself suddenly losing weight, more energetic, wanting to exercise, wanting to eat the right foods.
And they don't even advertise it as weight loss.
They don't, but it became...
But pharmacist Ben Fuchs explains that's what happens if you're overweight, because you're no longer hungry because you're getting what you need. When you start taking their proprietary formulation of essential fatty acids that blows the competition away. When you start taking Beyond Tangy Tangerine and Pollen Burst Plus and the other key longevity products, it is incredible.
It was so easy to lose weight and regain health for myself, barely without trying, just from taking the products.
I want to challenge our radio listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com. so you can see for yourselves the incredible results Aaron and others have achieved with longevity products that are discounted at wholesale prices at InfoWarsTeam.com. Sign up as a distributor and get wholesale pricing discounts at InfoWarsTeam.com. The revolution against tyranny starts individually with our bodies. There is a global awakening happening. The sleeping giant that is humanity is awakening, and a big part of that fight starts at InfoWarsTeam.com. Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com. And we are back on InfoWars Nightly News on this August 14th, 2000.